Hi everyone. So today we'll be learning about triggered flows, how we can use trigger flows, and how what is the difference between different trigger flows, and also we will cover with one use case in which we will try to cover update trigger flows and create trigger flows, both the trigger flows. So here's one scenario that I found on one of the blogs. I will mention the blog name in the description. You can check that out. So this is a very good use case to cover up a very basic flow idea. So what I have created this contact relationship field on the contact object, and whenever this checkbox is true, what I'm planning to do is I've created this relationship with this particular contact object, the contact relationship. It will create this field, so this will be part of my create trigger flows. So what I can show you the fields. So here there we have three fields. So first is of course the name, in which I will be storing the first name of the user in the sales rep. This will be basically the whosoever is the owner of the contact. The name of that contact will be stored in this user, sorry, and whatever the first name of the contact is, it will be stored in this part, and this will be of course the contact lookup. So this is a very basic use case that I am looking forward to. So what I'll do, I will create a flow. So in this we will select this record trigger flows, and if you want to learn screen flows or auto launched flows without triggers, you can check out my previous videos in which I have shown you. So you can select this record trigger flow as of now, and we will choose auto layout, and I'll select whenever a record is created. And here I have a couple of options also. I can select a record is created, a record is updated, a record is created or updated, and a record is deleted. So as name suggests, this flow can run whenever following things matches. Then we have the run flow, when I want to run the flow, on before event or after event. So before event is before saving the record, and after event is after saving the record. So whenever my record is getting saved, there are two events, before and after. So if I want to run some set of operations before saving the record, then I can select the before, and if I want to run certain set of operations after saving the record, then I can select the after one. And then I have this $record variable, $record global variable, which is the current record variable on which my flow trigger is running. So if you found this $record element or the variable inside your flow, and don't worry about this variable, because this is the current variable on which your flow is triggered or invoked, and make sure you are using it wisely, because it it can create some impact, or if you are not using it cautiously, then it can create some mess. So always be mindful while using this. So what I'll do, I'll select this a record is created, and whenever record is saved after, so I'll select this. In this I will select the contact object like this, and I'll select the field that I want to check. So it's contact relationship. Whenever this contact relationship is true, I want to run my flow. So this is how we can mention the condition here. I'll select done, and if you are wondering why this elements tab is not here and the copy and all the tabs are missing, this is because of this new auto layout thing, in which because of this plus sign, all the elements are here now, and you can choose from here. So what I'll do, I'll use this assignment. So in assignment, what I'll do, I will assign the new records or the data into my new contact relationship record, and then I will insert that particular record variable. So what I'll do, assign contact relationship like this, right? And then I will select the variable will be I have to create a new variable, because I want to store the details for the new contact relationship record. So what I will say, contact relationship record to store the details of new contact relationship record, right? and then I will select the data type for this. This will be a record because I want to create a record type. Then I will select, let's say, contact relationship, yeah, and that's it. So I created a new resource of type record, and I store what I'll do, I will select the name here, and I have to pass the first name of the contact. So what I'll do, I'll select this $record. $record is nothing but the current record on which my flow is running. I'll select this, and then I can select first name, right? And then I'll add one more assignment for this, and then I'll add contact ID, right? So for this again, let's go to $record and select ID like this, and then I have to pass the first name of the owner into the sales rep field. I'll select this, and then $record, and then go to owner ID, and then let's wait for a while, it will fetch this, yeah, and here I will choose name, and I'll pass first name. So those three values are those values which I want to pass, and I hit done. Now if you if you want to clone this or something, just click on this and you will get this copy element, delete element, and if you want to edit this, click on this. So all these options are now arranged in this order if you are using auto layout. So let's create this new variable, this new record, sorry. So I'll select create records, and I'll put create contact relationship, right? And I'll select use all values from a record. So here I'll be passing the record variable itself because I created it during the assignment. And also if you want to add a fault path to this, just click on this and select add fault path, and it will create a fault path for you. Then you can select whatever action you want to perform. Let's say I want to send an email to the user stating that there is an error while inserting the record. So I'll select this, send email, and I'll say send error email, right? And for the body, I'll select a new variable of type text template, and I'll pass the name email body, right? And here I will change this plain text because I don't want the HTML coding to be coming into my emails. And I'll say hey, then I'll select the current user, and then I will select first name because I want to say hi first user name, right? And then I'll say there is some issue while inserting contact relationship, right? And then I'll say thanks, so I'll hit done. So that's it. Then for the subject I can say error while inserting record, or you can use a formula variable or a text template for subject as well, and then you can pass it. For email addresses, I'll select current user email like this, and that's it. So it's configured, right? And I have my flow ready. So what it will do, it will run let's zoom it out so I can show you completely. So it will run whenever a record will be created for contact object, and there is one criteria for this contact relationship should be true, right? And my flow will be running in after save mode, so whenever the record is saved, this will run afterwards. So I let this save, let's give it some name, contact after save flow. Let's activate this. So let's see how our looks like, the output looks like. So let's create a new contact, right? And I'll give it some name, let's say Jack Sparrow, right? And this is the checkbox that I was talking. If I mark it true and I hit save, then it should run, and it should create that relationship record for me. So I scroll down, you can see this Jack record is created, and in this Jack record I have this first name as Jack because it is coming from the contact first name. This Jack Sparrow is the contact that I just inserted, and after that it created this record, and my sales rep is available. This is the first name of my user, so it means it is working fine. So that's how we can configure this flow very easily, and it is running by its own. There is no process builder or Apex code which is running behind this to launch this thing. This is all by its own, right? So let's see one more scenario in which whenever the contact owner is changed, this sales rep will be updated accordingly. So what I'll do, I'll create one more flow here, and we will see that whenever my contacts owner is changed to something else, then it will trigger this flow. So what I'll do, so because there are some limitations to triggered flows, we don't have as of now is changed and prior value, you cannot do both the things as of now. Let's create a record triggered flow very quickly. I'll select auto layout because auto layout is so easy to manage and all. So what I can select here is our record is updated because I want to run it whenever my contact is updated, and I'll run it in after mode, and I'll hit done. Select an object, select contact. Here you just pass the field which you want to check. So I want to check my owner ID. If my owner ID is not equals to, let's say this, so here I'm using this fixed value because I don't have is changed option. So what I'll do, I'm just for the demo purpose I'm showing this. So this is my current user ID. What I'll do, whenever this ID is changed or this is not equals to this, the flow will run, and I will select only when the record is updated to meet the criteria. So because of this, it won't run for every time. Whenever my owner ID will be not equals to this, only then it will run. So let's select done. Let's make it this, and here I'll choose what I want to do. I want to update all the records, so I'll select update records, and I want to so firstly we have to fetch all the records. So what we'll do, we'll use get records and get contact relationship, right? I will fetch all the contact relationship, where my ID, where my contact ID equals to my record ID. So dollar record is the current record on which this flow is running, and I will select all the records, right? So I will get all the records here. Then what I'll do, I will add a decision for checking the null. So this is a best practice whenever you are using get records, add null check. What I'll do, not null and here I'll select this contact relationship, and here I'll check is null, and what I'll do, I'll pass false. So whenever my record is not null, only then it will allow it to proceed in this direction, else it will move it in this direction. So if it is not null, what I want to do, so what I'll do, I will add a loop here. So because I want to cover all the records, so I'll give it some name, let's say contact relationship loop, right? And I'll select a collection variable and done. So it will create a loop, and in loop I want to update the sales rep name. So update sales rep name, right? And here I will get my loop variable, and what I'll do, use sales rep and equals, and what I'll do, I'll select my record owner ID, and here I'll pass the name, first name, right, and then I will add it to the new bucket. So consider two buckets, right? And what I'll do, I will just pick one record from there and I'll add it here. So I'll use this assignment and update, or let's say add new, add updated records, right? I have to create a new resource, new variable, new, or let's say updated contact relationship, right? For this I'll select record, and for the object I will select contact relationship, and here I will mark it true because I want to store a collection variable, and here I will add the new loop variable. So that what I'm doing, I'll explain again. So in this what I've done, I'm running firstly a loop, and then I've altered the loop variable, and then I'm storing that loop variable into a new assignment, or into a new list, right? And then I will update, I'll use update records, update changes, right? And here I select use IDs, this one, and I'll pass the correction. So this is the new one that I created, and I'll hit done. So this will cover up all the things that I wanted to do, and I'll hit save, and I'll put some name, updated contact relationship, right? And let's hit save, and I'll activate it. So let's quickly go back to our contacts, and what I'll do, I'll update the owner field on one of the contacts, and let's see if my name gets changed or not. So what I'll do, I'll update the owner from here, and I'll select user 2, and I'll click change owner, right? And so this should update this jack record. So if I open this, you can see this user is coming up, which means my new flow is working fine. It has updated with the new owner name. So that's it. That's how that's easy it is to run user updated flows and created flows, or if you want you can run them combinedly also by providing different options while while executing them. So I'll show you where you can pass different options and run both simultaneously. So while creating this, we have a new option called OR, and now you can pass different conditions, and you can provide multiple scenarios as well. So that's it for today's session. For next recording, it will be coming on next Sunday, 8:30 IST, 8:30 PM. So stay tuned. Thank you.